Every game, every team, every angle. Locked On Game to Game, your team every day.
Hey everyone, welcome into Game to Game Big Ten Edition. I'm Jourdan Black. The Big Ten is ready to put its top talent on display as Ohio State looks to notch another win, and Penn State and Minnesota go head-to-head. Meanwhile, Northwestern will seek to surprise Maryland and find its way back to winning ways. We kick things off with a tall task for Iowa on Saturday. Now, let's not kid ourselves. The Iowa Hawkeye offense is abysmal, to say the least. The literal worst in college football, with 239 yards per game, and no amount of stout defense is going to change that. Meanwhile, the Ohio State Buckeye offense provides all the flashy plays, while the defense has assessed and addressed most of its 2021 issues in convincing fashion. Jay Stevens for Locked On Buckeyes breaks this contest down.
Ohio State head coach Ryan Day had one thing on his mind going into the game against Iowa: getting revenge. Because in 2017, the Hawkeyes blew out the Buckeyes. Today's story was a whole lot different as the Buckeyes blew out the Hawkeyes 54-10. What's up, guys? My name is Jay Stevens, the host of Locked On Buckeyes, and this game was a little bit weird at times, a little wacky. The Buckeyes offense couldn't really flow, couldn't get anything going at times, struggled to run the ball. Situational play calling was a little bit weird. Stroud was overthrowing receivers, wasn't on the same page with receivers on multiple routes. He threw an interception. He fumbled earlier in the game, which resulted in a scoop and score for Iowa, but that was the only time Iowa scored a touchdown. The Buckeyes defense is elite, and it was elite once again. Had 6 takeaways. They sacked Iowa's quarterbacks 5 times, and Zach Harrison, the guy who I've been critical of, played phenomenal football in this game. Iowa loses. I love that sound. Buckeyes win. I love that even more. 54-10. A win is a win. Ohio State remains undefeated. I love the sound of that.
Trent Condon has the other side of the draw for Locked On Hawkeyes.
Iowa's offensive ineptitude hits new levels today in a 54-10 loss on the road to Ohio State. I'm Trent Condon with the Locked On Hawkeyes podcast. The offense struggled mightily throughout this one. 6 turnovers overall. Spencer Petras in the first half. Alex Padilla gets his first run in the second half. It didn't help out a whole lot. 12 yards of total offense in the first quarter. 4 of them came on a fake punt. That shows you just how much of a struggle it was for this Iowa team. They fall to 3-4 now on the season, and they got one with Northwestern coming up next as Iowa tries to find 3 more wins just to go get back to bowl eligibility. Going to be a difficult road for them. For more, check out Locked On Hawkeyes on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts. I'm Trent Condon.
The Hoosiers are on a 4-game losing skid, but have been playing competitive football. With a narrow 38-33 loss to Maryland last week, the passing attack is respectable, and the defense typically does enough to throw off the timing of the opposition for a series or 2. Now, Rutgers' defense has been terrific against the run, and if the passing game can find a bit of rhythm, there is a path to victory for the Scarlett Knights. Jacob Rude for Locked On Hoosiers has the postgame takeaways for us.
Embarrassing. Just complete and utter embarrassment from IU on Saturday. This is Jacob, host of Locked On Hoosiers, and honestly, I'm a little bit speechless right now, trying to figure out what just happened to the Hoosiers. They fall 24-17 to Rutgers. Rutgers came into this game with a home conference losing streak that dated back 5 years and over 1,800 days, and yet, despite jumping out to a 2-score lead very quickly in the first quarter, IU completely and utterly implodes. They got a touchdown on the opening kickoff. They got a touchdown on the opening drive, and then effectively did nothing the rest of the game, and that's not even really an exaggeration. They finished with 272 yards of offense. Again, most of that coming very early on, and just complete up and down all the way through this program. It is a failure right now. This was supposed to be different under Tom Allen. This team was supposed to be improved upon last year's team. At the beginning of the year, they look like they might be, but this team has completely regressed. And this is a low point. The offense can't do anything. The only yardage they really gained of note in the second half was in garbage time when Rutgers was in a prevent defense. The defense, this was a Rutgers offense that was one of the worst in the nation, and the defense gave up multiple drives of over 10 plays that led to scores. There's just nothing positive about the program right now. IU heads into a bye week now where they have a lot of self-reflection to figure out how things got to this point. Tom Allen isn't on the hot seat, but that's only because he has a $25 million buyout. And right now, that's literally the only reason why, because this program is collapsing and it is not in a good state right now. So we'll try to continue to diagnose that, everything else going on with this IU program on this week's episodes of Locked On Hoosiers. So be sure to subscribe.
Talia Tagovailoa's health might be all that matters in determining the outcome of this matchup with Northwestern. The Maryland star quarterback is questionable with a knee injury and is obviously an X factor for the Terps. Maryland's defense is allowing 277 yards per contest this season and remains ripe for the taking if Northwestern can expose that weakness. The Wildcats haven't scored over 14 points a game in a month, and the defense has been porous. Finding its early season fight is about all you can hope for if Northwestern wants to make a fight out of this one. Carter Bird for Locked On Northwestern has the postgame breakdown.
Well, Northwestern showed some great fight until they didn't. Hi, everyone. This is Carter Bird with Locked On Northwestern. Northwestern felt like they kind of had the game in hand against Maryland on the road in College Park, until Brendan Sullivan's second half interception helped turn the momentum back in Maryland's favor. They took the lead. Northwestern battled back, tied it up at 24, but then Roman Hemby's 75-yard run was kind of the nail in the coffin. Turnovers and big plays continue to plague the Wildcats this year. Northwestern falls at Maryland 31-24. For more, check out Locked On Northwestern on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Your team every day.
The Golden Gophers have taken their licks, but remain one of the more exciting teams to watch. They're thick up front, helping the running back, specifically Muhammad Ibrahim, when he's on the field and healthy. Without that balance, Minnesota has struggled through the air and with maintaining consistency game to game. Penn State is a tall test, and with third down conversions coming at a premium, the Nittany Lions defense should be able to control the game and dictate field position to put Penn State in a position to win. Kane Robb for Locked On Golden Gophers has the coverage for us.
The Gophers put up a fight in the first half, but end up ultimately losing to the Penn State Nittany Lions 45-17. We see some flashes from young quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis. Mo keeps the rushing streak going, but the Gophers just looking uncharacteristic these last few games. And once again today, the defense not coming to play fully throughout the entirety of the game. Simple mistakes, the offensive line having issues. It's all over the board for the Gophers right now. They look to bounce back next week versus Rutgers. We'll have a lot to talk about. This is Kane Robb with Locked On Golden Gophers, giving you Gophers content each and every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Again, the Gophers fall to Penn State 45-17. Who will be the quarterback for next week? We'll talk this week.
Graham Mertz and the passing attack for Wisconsin have to push the same tempo they had over Northwestern just a couple weeks ago in this week's showing against Purdue and moving forward. The Badgers have had a frustrating season to this point and should see the Boilermakers as an opportunity to feel themselves a bit on the offensive end. Wisconsin has had 15 straight wins over Purdue, and the defense should know what to expect and how to shut it down early in this contest. Ryan Herrings for Locked On Badgers provides the postgame coverage for us.
It was homecoming for the Badgers, and they got right in a big way as they dominated the game against a red-hot Purdue Boilermakers team. Hi, I'm Ryan Herrings, your host of Locked On Badgers. This was an enormous game for the Badgers heading into a bye week, needing to go at least get 3 wins down the stretch to get bowl eligible. And what did they do? They started fast. They were disciplined. Graham Mertz, they got him on the edges. He played really, really well, mistake-free football. They got a couple big runs from Braylon Allen and Isaac Rendo as the offensive line took a big step forward in run blocking. And defensively, the secondary was really good. John Torchio with a pick six. They did a great job on a talented group of Purdue receivers. And this is a big feather in Jim Leonard's hat as he continues to audition for that head coaching job. For more, check out Locked On Badgers on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Your team every day.
Week 8 in the Big Ten provided all the excitement and upset action we come to expect and love each week as the college football season rolls on. As the action unfolds, we'll continue to bring all of the insight and analysis from across our Locked On network to you. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Jourdan Black, and this has been Game to Game in the Big Ten.